Good afternoon. So today's revision class, on Unit 3, acoustics. This is coming under the building services. Already previous classes we discussed about the building services, comprises of the water supply fittings, sanitary fittings, and ventilation and air conditioning. This is the last topic. We are going to be discussing about that the building services comes under the acoustics. Acoustics. What is the acoustics and how the services we are going to provide? How the building we had to be constructed by using the soundproof. Acoustics is going to dealing with the science. Is a science dealing with the sound, because some of the buildings we require that the sound has to be propagated, and some of the buildings the sound has to be dissipated. So in cinema halls and entertainment theaters, we require the more sound, and in the case of the residential buildings and other areas, we don't require that the sound will be in a sound has to be restricted. So that's why how we are going to be construct a building that comes under the utility, uh, the type of the building. Based on the type of the building, if it is going for the industrial building, or if it is going for the commercial building, or it is going for the residential building, or how the building is going to be constructed, how we are going to be following the guidelines and principles related to the sound, or we are going to be called as acoustics. So then what is the acoustics? Acoustics is the science of sound is applied to the buildings, how we are going to be designing the building. So it deals with the origin, propagation, and auditory sensation of the sound. Because the sound will be having, first is going to be called as how it is going to be originated, and how it is going to be propagated, and how we have to be get that we are going to be hearing the sound in a hearing the sound sensation inside the building or inside the room itself. So that we are going to be called as acoustics. Knowledge of this science is used for the design and construction of theaters, cinemas, etc., with proper acoustical sounds in related to residential buildings. It is also used for correcting acoustical faults in existing structures, because some of the buildings we are getting the resound or the reverberation we are having. So that is the we are going to be called as fault in the designing of the building, such that we have to make sure that it is going to be called as soundproof. Soundproof we are going to be provided, and soundproof design we are going to be provided inside the building or inside the room itself. But that's why acoustics is going to be playing a vital role for the vital role in the two sides. One is we are going to be giving that the appropriate sensation of the sound. Another one is going to be called as beyond the sound, that is going to be creating as a noise pollution. We don't require that the noise pollution. In some of the areas we require that is going to be called as calm. In some of the areas we require that the noise is going to be in a as a reasonable level. So that's why the acoustics is going to be a more important design for the entire different types of the buildings. It also includes the sound absorption or dissipation of exterior noise. So in this case, we are going to call it as exterior and interior. So interior noise is not going for the exterior, and exterior noise is going to be not entering into the inside itself. Both the cases, external sound and internal sound has to be maintained in balance, so that we are going to be design the building. So then we have to be know about if you're going for the acoustics, so that is going to be called as external sound or the internal sound, making that it is going to be a room is going to be a soundproof. So we should have to be understand about that what are the properties of the sound, how the sound is going to be generated, and how it is going to be dissipated. So we have to be know about the principle of the sound itself. So the principle of sound is almost all is going to be similar to that the light, how the light is going to be transmitting and is going to be reflected. So same principle we are going to be following for the sound also. So the sound waves when strike a large uniform plane surface get reflected in the same manner as that light rays. Light rays, how it is going to be reflected once we are going to be keeping that any absorbent layer or the so the plane surface. In the similar fashion, the sound waves also is going to be striking uniform plane surface and get reflected, so that the sound is going to be propagated inside the room itself. Then the angle of incidence of the sound wave, which is the plane surface, is equal to the angle of reflection of the reflected wave. So incident to that the extracted or reflected wave is going to be more important. How it is going to be incident? taken place with the surface, and how it is going to be refracted or the reflected onto the reflected wave. Sound waves is striking over a concave surfaces cause concentration of reflected waves at a certain points. Because here more important that how the room is going to be designed with respect to that the surfaces is going to be called as concave and convex. If the concave surface we are going to design the room, that is we are going to be having that the surfaces will be having the concave surfaces. It is going to be reflected waves will be at a certain points only. It is not going to be propagated throughout the room. But in the case of convex, the room is going to be designed, all the surfaces is going to be called convex surfaces. Previous case is going to be called concave surfaces. All the surfaces will be concave. So then it is going to be so dissipated in one particular place or one particular plane itself. But it is not going to be propagated or it is not going to be so originated to entire room. But in the case of convex surface, it is going to be propagated once the sound wave is striking over a convex surface, cause spreading of reflected waves, spreading in entire room, spreading entire room. In the concave surface, spreading of the sound waves is only a certain place or certain points alone. But that is the only the difference between convex and concave. Hence, convex surfaces may be advantageously used to disperse or spread the sound throughout the room. Then what is meant by the reverberation? Reverberation, or we are going to call it resound, because the surfaces, some of the surfaces we are able to get a echo after the noise or the sound is going to stop. Also we can able to hear the sound that we are going to continuous sound will be there, so that we are going to be called as resound, or we are going to be getting that the echoes we are able to get it because of the faulty designing of the room or the faulty designing of the surfaces itself. So we had to rectify it and we had to replace such rooms or such enclosures by using that the soundproof materials, sound absorbing materials. Persistence of the sound in indoors, partially or completely enclosed, after the source of sound has stopped is known as reverberation or resound or the echo. So source of sound has stopped also, we can able to hear continuously the sound propagation. So on striking the walls, the sound waves are reflected and part of the energy is converted by friction into heat, and thus is going to be absorbed in a heat formation, like it is going to be absorbed into the walls itself. Then how this picture is going to be depicting that how it is going to be the sound is going to be incident sound, and we are going to be keeping that the acoustical material. We can able to see that this is the acoustical material, this is the wall will be there, incident of the sound is going to be propagated and how it is going to be reflected because of the acoustical material. If there is no acoustical material, how that sound is going to be transmitted to the external, so internal to the external or external to the internal. So this is we can able to see that one incoming sound and reflected sound, wall will be having that the absorbed sound and outgoing sound. So like the heat, how it is going to be generated, heat is how it is going to be absorbed, like that sound is going to be absorbed by the acoustical material. Then what are the requirements of a good sound absorbent? Because it has to be absorbed and it has to be propagated entire room itself in reasonable levels. So the sound is going to be in decibels and the noise is going to be decibels. We are going to measure in the decibels. It has to be in reasonable level. Beyond that limit, so we can able to get that. So ears is going to be disturbed. It should be durable. What the sound absorbent will be durable, vermin proof, efficient over wide range of frequencies. It has to be fire resistance, non-hygroscopic and heat insulating, self-supporting and easily fixable. That is the most important element. Pleasing in appearance, high coefficient of absorption, sufficient structural strength. These are the characteristics of the sound absorbent materials. First is durable. Always it is going to be durable. It should be structural strength and as well as the high coefficient of absorption will be there. And then what are the sound absorbing materials that we are going to be using in the construction? Types of sound absorbing materials. One is classification is going to be called porous, and another one is going to be called non-porous or non-perforated on membrane absorbers, and last one is going to be called cavity or Helmholtz resonator. These are the three classifications based on the physical composition absorbing materials. One is porous. It is going to be absorbed. It is going through that one is going to be non-perforated or membrane non-porous one, and another one is going to be called as cavities or the resonators will be provided. The porous materials. What are the porous materials that we are going to be using for the rooms such that we can able to absorbing, up to certain extent. So that we are going to cut examples are rock wool or glass wool, fiber boards or mineral wools, insulation blankets, etc. are some of the examples coming under the porous materials. So this material, they are convert the incident sound energy into heat energy, by the frictional and viscous resistance within this pores and by vibration of the small fibers, good for high frequency range. So this is for high frequency range we can able to use into that the sound absorbing material for the rooms, so that it is going to absorbing more sound and converted to the heat energy. Then it's going to be called as non-perforated panels and membrane absorbers. These best examples is going to be called gypsum boards, because here the low frequency range. Low frequency. Previous one is going to be called a high frequency range. That is going to be called a perforated one. Here is non-perforated one is going to be called as for the low frequency range, because the perforations will be there, that is going to be absorbing, and due to that one we can able to use only for low frequency range. High frequency range is not capable to withstand, and so the heat energy. Any impervious material installed on a solid backing but separated from it by an airspace will be set to the vibration when struck by sound waves, good for low frequency range. And what are the examples for this one is going to be coming under is going to be called gypsum molds. So you can see that in pictures we can able to fix that roof panels by using the gypsum boards, such that we can able to go for the low frequency range, or the suspended plaster ceilings, furred out plastics or rigid plastic boards, glazing doors and wood floors are the platforms, etc. comes under the non-perforated panels. Then last one is going to be called as cavity or the resonators. Cavity are Helmholtz resonators. They consist an enclosed body of air confined within rigid walls and connected by a narrow openings called the neck with the surrounding space which the sound waves travel. Because cavities means holes, so the partly enclosed with the holes and partly we are not enclosed with the holes. The holes is going to be absorbing the sound, such that we can able to control that the sound absorption and the propagation of the sound. So that is we are going to call it cavity resonators, can be applied for as individual units, as perforated panel resonators, or as slit resonator panels. So this is we are going to be using inside the room, such that we can able to absorb the sound and propagate the sound inside the room of the capacity with the limited capacity. Then what are the sound absorbed materials based on the market? In the market what are the sound absorbed materials are available, such that we can able to use in the preparation or the manufacturing of the rooms as a sound absorbing materials. One is hair felt, acoustic plaster, acoustic tiles, straw board, pulp boards, compressed fiber boards, compressed wood practical boards, perforated plywood, wood wool board, and quilts and mats. These are the various trade names. The sound absorbing materials are available in the market. That is depending upon the abundancy, and as well as some of the materials will be having expensive and some of the materials will be cheaper, and can able to use depending upon the utility, and also depending on the size of the room. If the size of the room will be very large, we can go for the expensive one. If the size of the room will be small, then we can go for the cheaper materials, sound absorbing materials. We can able to use such that we can able to limit the sound propagation. First one is going to be called as a hair felt. It is used for the simple size, small size rooms and halls. So hair felt will be having 25 mm thick absorption, and the hair felt of the coefficient of absorption is 25 mm thick. Hair felt is 0.6. Thickness of the hair felt is 25 mm thick, and what is the coefficient of absorption is 0.6. It is looking like a wool, and as well as we can able to utilize for rooms and halls. Then it's going to be called acoustic plaster. So we are going to be preparing the walls by using the inside that one we are going to be impregnated into that one. That is going to be called as fibrous plaster, and it includes granulated insulation material mixed with the cement. With the cement we are going to mixing together, and we are going to be provided the material as the acoustic plaster, such that we can able to use uh, the thickness is going to be called 20 mm thickness, and what is the sound absorption is coefficient of sound absorption is 0.15 to 0.3. Then acoustical tiles. So we are going to be preparing with prefabricated tiles are available such that it is going to be suitable for rooms which are small area and available for the acoustical treatment. This is also we are going to be using for the small area rooms. We can able to use in terms of the tiles. Previously in terms of roof material with the cement. Now it is going to be used in terms of the tiles. Next is going to be called as straw board, prepared from compressed straw or covered with the thick paper or the hardboard are used. With the paper, we are going to be preparing is a very light weight. The average value of coefficient of absorption is 13 mm thick and density is going to be 0.3 to 500 CPS. It is used at rooms and medium capacity halls. Because of the lightweight, we can go for the medium sized capacity halls. Then it's going to be called as pulp boards. These are the soft boards prepared from compressed pulps. There is a waste coming from the paper, waste coming from the paper and waste coming from the other organic materials. The average value of the coefficient of absorption is 13 mm thick as 0.17. Coefficient of absorption is 0.17 and 13 mm thick is available. Pulp boards, they are cheap and can be fixed by ordinary paneling itself. The panels are, we can have the roof, we can able to directly fix this one with very cheap quality of the material by the pulp boards. Then compressed fiber board. So made of compressed fiber, maybe perforated or unperforated. Perforated means slits will be there. Unperforated means there is no slits is going to be available. So this is comes from the wood directly. We are going to take it out. The average value of the coefficient of absorption of perforated one with a density of 3 kN per meter cube is 0.3, and for other one is say a non-perforated one or unperforated one is 0.52 is maximum value. Then compressed wood particle board. So this is also from basically from the wood or the extracted wood from the felled tree, prepared from compressed wood and with the chemical agents we are going to be preparing, provided with the perforations, and it can be painted also. Compressed wood particle board. The average value of the coefficient of absorption of 13 mm thick is 0.4. 0.4. Previously it is going to be 0.5 and 0.3. This is the coefficient of absorption is 0.4, 0.4. And the perforated plywood. So this we can able to use with the less thick material. With the plywood material can be used by forming composite panels with mineral wool and cement asbestos, or with mineral wool and hardboard, generally suspended from trusses. So this is we can able to go for the main very big halls. We can go for the one. The average value of coefficient of absorption is for the former one is as 0.95 and the later one is about 0.20. So this is perforated plywood. We can able to go for the cinema halls and a very big size or the large size rooms we can able to utilize, such that we can have see that here that the coefficient of absorption is 0.95. Then wood wool board, prepared from a mixture of Portland cement and wood wool or wood shavings. That is we can say that the byproduct or the end product, waste product from the wood, and that is going to be added with the cement. We are going to be preparing is going to be called as wood wool board, or it is going to be called as small quantity of gypsum is also sometimes is added. Here there's a coefficient of absorption is going to be called 0.2, very less. Coefficient of 0.0 very less, and it is used for simple small size rooms. Small size rooms. Last one is going to be called as quilts and mats. In the form of a mat, we can able to utilize the sound absorbing material prepared from mineral wool or glass wool, or fixed in the form of acoustical blankets. Looking it is in the looking in the form of a blanket. The absorption of coefficient of such quilts and mats depend on the thickness, density, perforations, mode of fixing, and nature of backing and frequency of the sound. So these, like this, we are having that the various sound absorbing materials in different trade names, and that is we are going to be utilizing or we are going to be fixing in the rooms and based upon that the utility. If the rooms are going to be very large, if they are going to be large, then we have to take that the coefficient of absorption will be coefficient of absorption will be more. If the size of the room will be less, the coefficient of absorption will be less. So like that, we are going to be choosing the appropriate material for the sound absorbing material, such that we can able to avoid the noise pollution, such that we are going to avoiding the reverberation.